Hey everyone, I hope you had fun with our game last lesson. But now we are going to continue on to lists. I know I said I was going to teach for loop, but I feel like it's essential to learn lists before we discuss the for loop. So, what is a list? Well, we've discussed having multiple variables with different values, right? But what if we wanted one variable with multiple values? Alright, well, lists can do that. Lists do that for you. So let's have a list called numbers, numbers. And the way that the syntax of a list is opening and closing of square brackets. Alright, well, now let's specify a bunch of different numbers here. We're going to do 1 through 6. Okay, now, when I print numbers, which is the variable that we described right up here, and when I run that, then I get my variable in a list format, just as I had described up here. It looks exactly the same, right? Yeah. Alright, but what if I wanted 2, or what if I specifically wanted 3? Well, lists can do that. So, the way a list works is that if you wanted a specific value inside this list, you have to use something called an index. An index is kind of like the location of the value that you want from the list. So to use the index, we to get the value from the specific index we want, we use square brackets. All right. Now, what if I wanted the very second value in our list? Alright, well, let's try 2. We get 3. That's weird, isn't it? Because we had just described 2 up here, and somehow we got 3. Well, the way lists work, and this is for most other languages, not lists, but indexes work, is that they start at the number 2. So, start at, not number 2. I don't know where my mind is. They start at the number 0, and they go on to however long your list is. And what I mean by however long your list is let me demonstrate it to you. So I put the number 6 there, right? You would think that I'd be getting the 6th value, but let's run that, and let's see what happens. No, I get an error that says list index is out of range. This list does not have a 6th location, right? So Python returns an error saying that there is no location of the 6th index. Alright, well, let's go back to what I had said before. What if I want the number 2? Well, what we'd have to do is we count from 0. So I want 0, 1. Our index will be 1. Alright. I got the number 2. What if I wanted the number 4? So I count 0, 1, 2, 3. Alright, I run, and I get the 4th value. Okay. What if I wanted a range? What if I wanted every number from 2 to 5? Alright, well, let's count which index is 2, what's the location of 2, so 0, 1. We use this colon, and let's count again, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try 4. And you see that we get everything besides the number 5. The way that the indexes of a list works, or in this range at least, is that it does not count the last index. It does count the first one. The first is included, but the second is excluded. So instead of 4 over here, we would put 5. Just for reference, the 5th index is 6. Alright, now we get 2 through 5. Okay, that's great. Another thing that we can do with Python, which most other languages don't support, is using negative indexes. So what would happen if we did the number -1? We run that and we get 6. So what Python does is it goes backwards. When we use negative numbers, then it counts from the very end of our list. So if I wanted the number 5, I could do -2. It would count from the end of the list, so 1, 2. Alright, and that gives us 5. Okay, that's great. And there are a bunch of other methods that lists have, and here's a couple of them. Or actually, I think this might be all of them, but I'm not sure. So yeah, append. We can add an element at the end of the list. All right, I'll demonstrate that one. I'll do numbers dot append. Let's append the number 0 to the end of the list. Oh, my bad. Okay, let's run that. Okay, now we get 0 at the end of the list. Alright, let's look at a couple others. So I feel that the most important ones from this list are append, insert, pop, remove, reverse and sort. Reverse and sort are more for fun, but yeah, they're definitely good to know. So what does pop do? Pop removes the element at a specific position, right? So let's try that out really quickly. Numbers dot pop. I want to pop out the first value. All right. I do pop 0, and it pops the number 1 from the list. It pops it out of our list. Okay. If I had not specified something inside the parameters, let's see what it would do. It would take it out from the very end of our list. If you remember, we had put a 0 there. Let's put a print statement there. Okay. So we had a 0 at the end, and then we used pop without an index, and it removed the very last value in our list. Okay. Let's discuss a couple others. Remove removes the item with a specified value. If I wanted to remove the number 1, but I didn't know what index it was, then I could just say, hey, I want to remove the number 1. And then it would remove 1 from our list. I could do the same with 3. And it would remove 3, as you can see, 1, 2, 4. It removes 3 from our list. Alright. Reverse, kind of self-explanatory. Reverse just reverses the order of the list. And what sort does is Python is super smart, right? If you have a list of numbers, it will sort numerically. If you have a list of words, it will sort alphabetically. Let's quickly show you. So I want to do numbers dot sort. All right, you can see that 0 was at the end and now it's at the beginning. All right, I think that is it. That is all we have to discuss for lists. Lists come super useful in for loops, and we will discuss that. But yeah, this video is 8 minutes. We were going to discuss dictionaries, but I'm going to record dictionaries right after this, and then I will see if my editor can upload that. So happy programming. I will see you all in the next